According to a global fan survey for Formula One, Max Verstappen is the sport's most popular driver, while Lewis Hamilton holds third place amid the growing popularity of young fans. But why does Max Verstappen has such a big fan base? Hang on to find out. But before we get into the video, if you are new here, please press the bell button to stay up to date, and hold on tight, because we are going on a very informational journey. Formula One and data experts Nielsen Sports were commissioned by Motorsport Network, the first global Formula One fan survey since 2017, to collect feedback on various topics in the sport with responses from 167,000 fans in 187 countries. In terms of the pecking order for the most popular drivers, there has been significant movement since last year's survey. Although Hamilton had led the rankings last time around, ahead of Fernando Alonso and Kimi Räikkönen, the reigning world champion came in third behind title rival Verstappen and fellow Briton Lando Norris, according to the creators of the survey, who mentioned that there wasn't much separating the top three drivers. The Netherlands' favorite Formula One driver, Max Verstappen, has been driving Formula One's boom in recent years. I could not help but notice a large number of fans coming to the circuit in support of one driver while driving into Spa for the race. There was a lot of orange to see. Red Bull driver Max Verstappen's popularity is not limited to the Belgian Grand Prix. For the last couple of years, it has been observed at all the European races, with fans taking over campsites and grandstands to see their favorite Formula One driver compete. Then, Verstappen's fans from across the border will have made the trip across to support him. Although that figure is insignificant by the numbers seen in other races, there are still thousands of participants in all the other races in Europe. It is believed that most events are now creating Verstappen grandstands to accommodate the support. Silverstone, though, has reportedly declined the offer. Further, Verstappen's fan club has led to an increase in attendance at European races in recent years, which can be attributed to Verstappen. For instance, in 2017, the British Grand Prix was the only race whose attendance did not increase from the previous year. While Verstappen may not be solely responsible for the rise in ticket sales, Hockenheim marketing chief Jorn Teske reported earlier this year that he was a major factor in the rise. It should be noted that Verstappen's support goes quite a long way to securing a more stable future for European racing, who may have faced uncertainty in recent years. Spa is perhaps the most compelling example. It faced years of uncertainty about its future, only to enjoy a record number of visitors in 2017, and sign a new 3-year contract through 2021 over the summer. With the most followers on social media among the sport's most successful drivers, and among respondents 45 and older, Hamilton was the most popular driver in the UK. The most popular driver among 25 to 45-year-olds was Verstappen, while Norris was the top driver among 16 to 24-year-olds and women. Daniel Ricciardo, Norris' McLaren teammate, occupied the fourth position ahead of Sebastian Vettel, while Charles Leclerc, George Russell, and Pierre Gasly also made the top 10. Then, Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes were voted as the most popular teams, while McLaren ended their 9-year victory drought at Monza. It is no secret that we love to see the Orange Army supporting Max at racetracks all over the world. In 2021, the Netherlands was gearing up for Max's first home Grand Prix, which also was the championship race. The Dutch Army went wild during this thrilling but exciting race. It was nice to see how the whole stand was full of cheering Verstappen fans. Almost every race in the Formula One season sees a sea of orange in the stands, with fans roaring and waving self-made flags. There are so many fans of Max Verstappen that the Dutch Army have their section in the grandstand. The question is, why do they love him so much and be crazy about Max? They have a whole new level of commitment to the color orange. Max is the first Dutchman who became a Formula One world champion, and orange is the national color of the Netherlands. Having won the Spanish Grand Prix for the first time in 2016, the Dutch driver has continued to improve. Further, his Dutch fans aren't the only ones to wear orange to show their support for Max. Over the years, the color has become synonymous with anyone who supports him, regardless of their nationality. Also, Max's fans don't shy away from travel. In addition to the European races, many races elsewhere have seen the traveling fan club taking over grandstands and campsites to witness the champions battle on track. In every European race, there are thousands of them, and the ones close to home have even drawn crowds of tens of thousands. This year, the Grand Prix of Zandvoort will take place at the 4th of September. Will this still be as busy as in 2021? I think the Orange Army is already looking forward to it. According to Hockenheim marketing chief Jorn Teske, 10,000 Verstappen fans attended the festival in 2018. Similar to what happened in Austria, they had almost booked out an entire stadium. With this, it was the first time Hungary dedicated a Verstappen block in the grandstand on the main straight. Many have argued that the increase in fans attending European races has provided the tracks with the money they need to extend their contracts with Formula One. A key example of this is having the risk of being cut from the calendar, only to see record crowds in 2017 and therefore agreeing to a multi-year contract with Formula One. Does the Orange Army have anything to do with it? Most likely not. But did they help at all? Definitely. Max fans, more than likely, the reason why Zandvoort is back on the calendar this year. The Orange Army members even attempted to reinstate the Dutch Grand Prix by starting a petition that gained over 100,000 signatures in 2018. Despite being unofficial, it undoubtedly ignited the interest of the then FIA race director, Charlie Whiting, in looking into its revival. Even some fans have expressed the belief that the Orange Army has outdone the Tifosi as the best Formula One fan base. The Orange Army certainly has the loudest fans. Also, it is impressive when audiences overpower the sound of race cars on a track, when the crowds are loud. Furthermore, it is impressive how they follow Max and give him support wherever he races. However, there will be times when it can go way overboard, as when the organizers of the Dutch Grand Prix had to ask the fans not to boo Lewis Hamilton as they struggle for last year's Drivers' Championship. Max said he had never actually felt so good while booing. Rather, it fuels him, but Lewis takes it in stride. Hamilton is a tough competitor for the Orange Army's favorite driver, who he respects, along with the love of the sport as a whole, and Max in particular. Meanwhile, Lewis has already mentioned that the response of the fans doesn't bother him, and that it almost fuels him to push on, as the fans do for Max. Meanwhile, Max is grateful for the support from his fans. While he hasn't made much of it, insisting that he'd still be striving to be the best, no matter who is there to watch him out, he does acknowledge the importance of the Orange Army's presence to him. As a driver, a sportsman, and a Dutchman, the support he receives in racing means a lot to him. The fans of Max Verstappen are real die-hard fans. They spend thousands on Max's merchandise and tickets to races across Europe, and they travel to different countries week after week, cheering and cheering louder than anyone else. In addition, the Dutch Grand Prix is now part of the Formula One schedule. The Dutch fans really like that, because they're crazy about supporting Max. I believe the Orange Army love Max because he is the first Dutch driver to win a Formula One World Champion title, and he's just good at his racing job. It's just that as Hamilton, Max was hated by Lewis avid fans as well, just as Lewis was by Max's Orange Army. But I know that at the end of the day, it was just because they loved their racing icons. Are you also a part of the Orange Army? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe with a post notification, so you don't miss out on Max Verstappen Formula One.